Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch McConnell did a press conference, a Kentucky press conference, and he froze up at the podium for the second time. Now, I know this man has been doing these episodes for quite some time, and they have been just covering it up. Now, there are some things you just can't hide about a person, and health problems is high on the list. A lot of times when you have things like this, you just can't keep concealing this and acting like you can put the same person in front of everyone and they're not going to detect that something's wrong. It is painfully obvious. Mitch McConnell is not in good shape. And anytime someone asks you a question and you freeze and people are waiting for the answer and waiting and waiting and waiting, and you're just standing there. I think it is very obvious. No matter how this man feels, he really needs to retire. I don't see how this is a good thing for Kentucky. I really don't. You put a man in office that really is not physically up to doing his job. He might have been at one point in time in his life, but he is certainly not like that now. I'm going to go ahead and show you a video clip, and I'll be right back with the rest of my commentary.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator Benny.
okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Okay, so you saw the video and you saw the lady and a man at one point come up to the podium and she was trying to help him, but let's face it, she couldn't make him speak, after he stood there all frozen. So, y'all, this happened on Wednesday. So, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell on Wednesday appeared briefly, unable to respond to reporters' questions at a press event, marking the second time in weeks that the Republican leader has abruptly stopped speaking and required help from people around him. McConnell, 81, initially seemed to struggle to hear when, they were asking him. Now, this was in Covington, Kentucky. And the question was asking if he was going to run for reelection. Now, he recently won reelection, y'all. And you see the shape he's in now. Look, there's no way. I just don't believe this man is going to be able to finish his term at all. And I think those that are with him and around him that are trying to cover this up, you're not really helping him at all. You're not. But the senator then froze at the lectern and he didn't speak for 30 seconds. He did not appear to immediately respond when a member of his staff approached him and was asking if he heard the question. All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. That's what his aide said. McConnell then appeared to signal he was ready to receive another question. So they were asking him about Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron, who is running for governor. After his aide loudly repeated the question in his ear, McConnell said, "I think the governor's race is going to be close," with his voice lowering in volume as he finished his reply. He brushed off a final question about former President Donald Trump, the latest indictment in Georgia, before being led away. Mm-mm-mm. McConnell suffered a similar episode, and y'all remember, because I think we all did videos on it, in July 26th. And that episode where he froze, that happened in Washington, D.C. And he was speaking, and then he froze, and then he was unable to speak, and fellow senators pulled him away from the podium. And, they wanted to see if he wanted to return and give a few words, and he couldn't do it. You could tell he couldn't do it, just like he could barely do it at this Kentucky press conference. At the time, McConnell dismissed questions about the health scare, and people were wondering if it was in connection with a concussion he had suffered. And remember, he already fell a few times this year, and he fell at the Reagan International Airport, the Ronald Reagan Airport. And they said he fell face first and really fell hard. And that was just a few weeks before he froze the first time. I think it was like 2 weeks prior. So a spokesman for McConnell did not immediately respond to CNBC requests for comment on the latest incident. Fresh questions about McConnell's health arise at especially the fraught moment for the Republicans in Congress, who hold a narrow majority in the House, 49 seats in the Senate, one shy of the majority. On Tuesday, Republican House majority announced that he had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a rare blood cancer. Oh boy, these people up there in Congress and the Senate, they got some serious problems. A blood cancer? The Louisiana lawmaker called the disease very treatable and promised he would return to Washington, though he did not say precisely when. And that's Steve Scalise. Mm-mm-mm. So Congress is scheduled to return in session in September after a month-long recess, with the Senate back in session on September 5th and the House September 12th. So this is the latest on Mitch McConnell, and it sure don't look good, y'all. You know, another term, this man don't even look like he's going to be able to finish the term that he's in. And like I said, these episodes he's having, I bet you he's been doing this for quite some time. They just did a real good job in covering all of this up. But please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.